Yes, you're lucky to get the number of a girl you like, but you need to understand that, while you're learning how to get close to her, the majority of your communications will be over text. But many guys have no idea what to do. After they get a number, they don't know how to text or communicate effectively with them. So, to help you out, we put together the 32 best tips and rules on how to text a girl you like. It is based on the principles of democracy and the rule of law. Number 1. Text her within 24 hours of meeting her. In these days, most girls expect men to contact them within 24 hours of meeting. So if you wait much longer than 24 hours before texting her, she'll think you aren't thinking about her. But when it comes to text her for the first time, don't think too much of it. Just keep it casual and simple. Number 2. You have to be relaxed. Don't send her a long or feverish sounding text message. Just one sentence at a time is fine. But remember, if your girl is a little nervous, this will make you feel better about conversing. Be yourself and don't sweat over trying to say the perfect thing. You need to make sure there's an equal flow of texts. If you text her most of the time for every 1 or 2 responses you get from her, it's time to back off. Number 3. Watch your grammar. Well-written text messages make you look mature and intelligent. So you need to make sure to watch your spelling, punctuation, grammar, and useless abbreviations before you text the girl. Because the further girls get from high school, the more upsetting it is when men still text like they're in high school. You should show the girl that you care about her by writing correct sentences. Number 4. Try to say sweet things to her. Yes, we're often taught that men should be tough and control their emotions. We always hear sweetness, kindness, and gentleness are feminine traits. That's not true. Sweet things to say to a girl can be in many forms. It could be a meaningful quote or a story that you know she'll appreciate, or a kind message which will brighten her day, or it can be a great compliment which makes her feel unique. So use these sweet texts to demonstrate how thoughtful and observant you can be. Pay attention to make your feelings as most clear as you can. Number 5. Mirroring her. Text her the same way she texts you. Pay attention to how she is texting you. It's a secret code that how a girl expects to be texted is right there in her texts. Follow her example on these things: how much she uses images, how long is her texts, how fast you need to answer her, and how much does she like teasing, poking fun at each other. Number 6. Give her a pet name after you develop a good relationship. Don't forget to use her actual name instead of using a pet name in the first days of texting. Because she would think, whoa, we just met and he called me baby? I'm not his baby yet. In fact, it seems like a generic text that you could send to anyone if you don't use her actual name. But after you develop your relationship and want to take the next step, you are free to use pet names that are personal and unique. It's a good idea to create a personal bond between both of you. So personalize your relationship that both of you share, and it'll bring both of you closer. Number 7. Tease her gently. If you know her well enough, tease her gently and wait for her to tease you back. It's a great way to develop a good relationship. But don't just rely on teasing to keep her attention. As research shows, most of those acts we call teasing were little more than an insult, putting her down in some way. Unfortunately, most of the guys are being taught to say mean things to girls over text to get their attention. But she likes you to man up. You shouldn't be afraid to tell her she's pretty or smart. Number 8. Feel free to joke with her, but in a proper way. Joke with her, but avoid inappropriate jokes like sexual, sexist, racist, insulting, or mean jokes. It's easy for the girl to misinterpret any of those jokes, or you may joking about something that she takes very seriously. Be a gentleman, classic and timeless man in your texts, not an impolite or crude man. Show her that you can laugh at yourself and that you don't depend on insulting jokes to be funny. Number 9. Instead of telling your good traits, show her. It's common between guys to show their girl how witty, generous, gentle, and wealthy they are. But it seems a little awkward to tell any of those things over text. Use texting to charm her going on a date with you where you can show her how awesome you are, instead of telling her straight out how awesome you are by outright bragging on yourself, as very few girls find arrogant men attractive. Number 10. Let her know that you remember every single word she texts you. If she told you about her birthday, her favorite color, food, or even her pet name, don't forget them. Especially when she has something happening, it's related to remember things she tells you, but goes a little further romantically. So don't just show that you remember things about her, send encouraging or sweet texts when mentions something big in her life. Number 11. Leave sex out of texting. Tell your girl that she's attractive without sexualizing her. So don't ask for sexy pictures of her when it's not the time. Or mention what you want to do with her until she's mentally and physically let you do it. And don't ever send her pictures of you without her asking. I can assure you, all girls see any of these actions as a huge turn-off. They make her feel like a sexual object instead of a beautiful and respected woman. Number 12. Don't suddenly stop texting her. You shouldn't suddenly stop texting her when there is no explanation. It's like you were talking in person, suddenly with no explanation she walked away. You probably wonder if you made a mistake, or if the girl was just plain rude, or if you were boring her. So she will feel the exact same when you stop texting her mid-conversation. Be polite, don't leave her confused. Number 13. Text with a purpose. It's a fact that your whole purpose of back and forth texting is to get a date. So you shouldn't waste your time by sending random texts that don't help you achieve that purpose. If you continue texting without purpose, she probably loses interest in you, or worse, think that you're just being friendly instead of flirting. Number 14. Use texting to get to know her better. Since you find that she's interested in getting to know more about you, start to get more personal by asking her those personal questions which signal your interest in getting to know her in your texts. That makes her feel appreciated and think of you as a boyfriend. Number 15. Remind her that something fantastic happened when you met her. It's the best one which has a great effect on your girl. So, you should put her back in that positive mindset by reminding her of something interesting, cool, funny that happened when you met in the first text. So she'll associate you with smile or laughter, as girls love a man who can make them laugh. Number 16. Show her that you are original. You should charm her with your wit and make a witty observation that shows the girl your unique way of looking at the world. And find a way to make her laugh. Also, you should show the girl that you can be clever even over texting. Number 17. Don't try too hard to be funny. Even if being funny comes naturally to you, great, but if you find yourself writing ha 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 after your own sentences to show her that you're making a joke or trying to make her laugh, then you should take a step back. Number 18. It's a good idea to pick a time to text her. Don't text your girl all day long. If you know her routine or schedule, text her only when you know she's free to text you back. You'd see that she indulges in longer text conversations at particular times of the day, just within a couple of days of texting her. Number 19. Nighttime is the best time to text a girl. If you see that the girl you like is comfortable with texting late into the night, then you've already got the edge you need. There's something so sexy and romantic about a quiet night that'll only work in your favor. But, if you've had a heavy night of drinking, be cautious of what you're texting. Number 20. Avoid texting her when you notice she's busy with her friends. She needs to feel excited to read your text, not get bugged because you're constantly interfering with her time. Number 21. The appropriate time to end the conversation. Here are some tips for you to understand when is the time to stop texting her and try again later. 1. If she is always the one to end the conversation, then maybe you should avoid texting her for a while until she starts something herself. 2. If the girl is giving you 1 or 2 word responses, she may be too busy or not interested enough to chat with you. So you should stop for a while to learn what is the reason. 3. If it takes hours or even days to text you back, probably it's time to take it easy. Respect the fact that she has her own life to deal with, and it's better to move on with your own. But don't be sad, leave it in peace and remain positive. The opportunity to connect with her could be around somehow. Number 22. Try to ask open-ended questions. This will give your girl more work and time. If you ask a question that can be answered in just 1 or 2 words, then it led to being cut off the conversation before it had a chance to start. Number 23. Ask about her daily activities. Ask about her day and her daily activities. If you noticed she had an important event at school, ask how it went. Also, you shouldn't get too personal, but if it comes up, ask what she's up to or what she likes to do on the weekends. But, make sure the question you are going to ask is something she can easily answer. Don't ask about the climate change or aliens in a spaceship or some too serious questions. Number 24. Mention things while texting you know she has going on. Mention texts like, "Good luck on your concert today." These kinds of messages are perfect because they show that you already know about her and let her know that you care and cheering her on. As an added bonus, they give you something to talk about later in the day. Number 25. Find a common interest to keep texting. Of course, you don't have to talk about your political or religious beliefs while texting. You need to find a common interest. Even if it's just a TV show or a band, this will allow you to continue. Number 26. Don't forget flirting, but in proper way. Do it at the right time. Show her your silly side playfully by making a goofy comment. No girl likes a guy who takes himself too seriously. But it's not good to flirt all the time. Even if she knows you like her already, and also avoid flirting with her on every single message. It'll just bore her if all you do is flirt with her. Number 27. Leave a few kisses and a smile when you're texting her goodbye. Even if she makes a big deal of it, you can always be funny about it and say it was a goodbye kiss on her cheek. Pay attention, using flirtatious emotions or other emotions in every other sentence can be a little silly or even can be overkill and distracting from what you're trying to say. Number 28. Send a good morning and good night text. Send a good morning text for her to wake up. It lets her know that she was the first thing you thought of the day. So it's a chance for you to start a conversation that could run through the whole day. And send a good night text to make your way into her dreams. As we all know, the thoughts and feelings we have before bed have a clear effect on how well we sleep. They even sink in overnight and carry over to the next day. Number 29. Leave on a good note. You should always leave the conversation open, so it will be easy for you to chat again. Tell her you hope she has fun with whatever she's doing or wherever she's going, or let her know where you're going. Maybe she'll take it as a hint that you would like to meet up with her. Number 30. Ask her out after no more than 2 to 3 days of texting. Of course, you want to date the girl, not have a lifelong boring text relationship. Because girls usually assume men don't have any real interest in dating it, you continue texting without asking them out. So don't let her write you off, get the point, ask her out. Number 31. Ask her out, don't tell her you're taking her out. It's partly good advice. Because girls want you to directly define your time together as a date. Most sites advise you to tell your girl that you're taking her out instead of asking her, but the truth is, telling her like that usually comes across as pushy. Number 32. Set up a date. Texting is a low-pressure way to set up a date. When she's regularly responding well, suggest an activity that you can do together or invite her to a party. Try something like, "Hey, I'm going to the cinema on Friday, if you join me it'll be fantastic." It's casual and she's more likely to say okay.